Thought you knew me so much better. You're on a lifetime sentence. So now you never feel my presence. So we thought I would let this stay. Thought you knew me so much better. So we thought I would let this stay. Thought you knew me so much better. Yeah. So we thought I would let this stay. No, that's right. Your words don't mean nothing to me. Sleepless night, your love has left us incomplete. Thinking that your promises will mess around. Oh, that's right. But you're on a lifetime sentence, and you no longer feel my presence. So we thought I would let it stay. Thought you knew me so much better. You're on a lifetime sentence, so now you never feel my presence. So we thought I would let it stay. Thought you knew me so much better. Cause I don't. So we thought I would let it stay. Thought you knew me so much better. So we thought I would let it stay. On a lifetime sentence, and now you never feel my presence. So we thought I would let it stay. Thought you knew me so much better. On a lifetime sentence, so now you never feel my presence. So we thought I would let it stay. Thought you knew me so much better.
Don't be telling people my stuff. Thank you very much. If I wanted people to know, I would let them know. Can I please have my stuff for me, please? Showtime, Mike. Hey, content creators, we ain't friendly. This is a business. I want to say, yeah, go get the fine stuff that he got, man, please. What's going on, people? Yeah, right now, last night, women are not the enemy. They're not. They are not. Time to grow up, gentlemen. Time to grow up. Oh boy, somebody is about to get mad. Woo-wee. There are going to be some upset, angry. I mean, just prepare for the level of hurt, anger, disgust. It shouldn't be like that. It's not fair. The world ain't right. They're the enemy. Somebody get the wambulance. Get the wambulance. Somebody go get the wambulance. Somebody go get it, because it is about to get deep in here. You're about to hear so many guys just, in the fee. Ladies, this is one of the times where I'm going to give the ladies permission to laugh at you. And I'm going to tell you why I'm going to give them permission to laugh at you.
I appreciate the content, sir.
Tell you why I'm going to give the ladies permission to laugh at you. because this is the purview of men. And we're going to talk about man stuff. And shout out to B, man stuff. And like it or not, you don't have to like the rules, but understand something. Human beings are the highest mammal on the planet, but we have instincts and we have the ability to reason. But at the end of the day, you look at any zombie movie, Walking Dead, any of the world, any dystopian kind of future event kind of setting, and what happens? When technology fails, human beings resort back to being the human animal we are. And that bothers a lot of guys because in a state of nature, there are greater or lesser males. There are alphas and there are betas. There are gammas, there are zetas, there are all kinds of different designations. But here's the thing, it gets real quick where men rank. In the corporate world, in the business world, it's the closest thing day-to-day men have to the jungle. It's survival of the fittest. It's kill or be killed. And so many guys today have excuses to why they can't win. So let's get started. The white man's holding me back. We're going to tackle this one in depth. Because I've had a lot of men come to my channel as this weekend I'm doing the Black in Corporate America series, challenging what I'm telling Black men. And based on their opinion. But again, line up some facts and arguments fall apart. You can have an opinion. Opinions are like assholes. Everybody's got one. But understand something. Success has a formula. Successful people, successful teams, successful companies are studied. Why? Because they want to replicate that success, emulate that success. Powerful men think, act, and move in similar ways. Look across middle and upper management in corporate America, and you'll start to see a pattern evolve. You don't have to like it, you don't have to agree with it, but it is what it is. And if you want to win, you have to be in the game. Let's start here. For everyone who wants to keep coming by and say, the corporate America ain't for us, and this ain't for us, and that. Okay, understand something. Let me go ahead and knock this. First of all, hit the like button. Hit the like button. Let's go ahead and get that started. Hit the like button, show some love, because I'm tackling subjects that honestly are third rails. People really don't want to talk about. But we're going to talk about them nonetheless. Hit the like button, and if you want to really show some love and support the channel, become a patron. That's the best way to show your support. Become a patron is the best way to show your support. I appreciate the donations. I mean, the super chats, but understand something. Super chat, love them. You're giving away 50% of the money. You give a $50 donation, I get $25 2 months from now. No, I get $25 90 days from now. You give a $10 donation, I get $5 90 days from now. Please use the links. Please use the links. If you don't like that link, you can use Cash App, PayPal, any one of those. You can use any of those. I prefer you. Here are all the ways you can support the channel. They are right there in the description. Now, as I said earlier, we're going to have to agree on something. We're going to have to agree on something. That at most, 30% of men should or are cut out or should be business owners, at most. So in this United States of America, where there are 350, let's just call it 400, let's call it 400 million people for simple math. Oh, well, the 400 million people, 200 million of men age 18 and above.
Tuition investment.
Appreciate it. At 18 or above, at most 30% of the male population should be entrepreneurs or business owners. That means the other 70% of men, double plus, have to work for somebody. Now, that 30% of men, can honestly, can the 30% of men who start businesses, and here's the funny thing, most people who start businesses, 80% of people, 80% of small business is one person. 80% of small business is one person. So of that 30% of people who should start their own business, they don't employ anybody. How can 70% of a male population work for 20% of 30%? You can't. That means 70% of men have to work for somebody. Logic. So if you have to work for somebody, you got to play the game. I mean, you have to get in the game. Working for somebody is getting in the game. You can rebel and not work for anybody, but you're outside of the game. That means you're in the stands. But if you're in the game, are you willing to do what it takes to win? Before you answer that question, we got to ask yourself a question. What does winning mean? What does winning mean? What does winning mean in corporate America for Black men? What does it mean to win? And how does being a lone wolf, single, socially awkward, all these things, how do they affect your odds for upward mobility? This is why it's time to grow up. It's time to grow up. All right. Last night, I did a show for 3 hours talking to incels, beta males, and guys who are pretty much just unlucky at relationships. Check it out. It's a really good show. And a lot what I heard last night is tough love. Tough love. The thing about tough love is, men, if you cannot handle tough love, you cannot handle the world. You're not ready. If you can't handle tough love, some of the things that were being said last night, you are not cut out for the rough, tough, dog-eat-dog, killer-be-killed world of corporate America. You are not ready to win. And sadly, there are a lot of guys that are out there like that. I am right now putting together the framework for group coaching for these 20-year-old socially awkward, kind of guys who are going to be able to, because you can't work with you one-on-one. You can't afford me. Can't afford me. So the best way is going to be to work with you guys in a group, and we're putting that together. I already offer group stuff on my Patreon. I'm putting together group stuff for like 25 or less, for 25-year-olds or less, or 23-year-olds or less, but that's coming. But what does winning mean in corporate America? Because we already admitted 70% of us got to go work with somebody. What does it mean? Understand something. That the world does not care about your problems. The world does not care about your situations. The world does not care how you became the man you are today. All companies care about is what you can do for their bottom line. They do not exist for your personal expression, for your betterment. The last thing any business wants to do is hire somebody. The most expensive thing any business can take on is labor. These are just realities. Labor costs are the most expensive, unpredictable costs. However, if you want to grow and expand, you must hire folks. So if you're going to be in the game, whether you went to high school or whether you went to college, but especially if you went to college, got a degree, and you went into debts to go into the corporate world, Why would you not play the game to win? Let's get into it. Black dude was fired today for sleeping on the job in DOD spaces. That's a damn shame. And I guarantee you, somebody will blame the white man. Somebody will say that wasn't fair. White boys can sleep on the job. All right. Middle management or upper management guys, if we were out in nature, these guys would be looked at as pre-selected. Women would naturally look to guys in middle management or upper management as being more worthy mates because they have more resources. See, money and resources have taken the place of actual actual worth. That's why you had so many guys last night, so many 20-year-old guys last night thinking that life will get better after I'm out of college because I'll be high value then. First of all, let me dispel that. Life is not going to be better for you just because you're an average working guy. Go back and listen to that show. But how many guys on this, how many guys in the chat room are in corporate America? In corporate America, or plan on going to work in white collar corporate America or blue collar? You plan on going to work for somebody. If you're going to work for somebody, put a 1 in the chat room. I don't care if somewhere down the line you plan on starting your own business. Many people talk about that. 70% of those people are just talking. All right, look at the ones. Look at the ones. Look at the ones. All right. So here's the thing. You get your first job. You're entry level. You're an account manager or an entry level analyst. All these things. You're 23 and you're an entry level account manager, an account executive, a junior accountant, or you're entry level. At what age do you plan on starting to take life seriously? I had someone ask me, at what point should you choose a career path? Age 25. You have to pick. You have to pick a path and then stick with it. Only getting off the path if you really want to make a wholesale career change. But at 23, you should have your first promotion inside 3 years. And your first promotion should coincide with your first, with a serious relationship. You can get promoted to senior account level, supervisor level, entry level management. But it is my experience and my professional opinion. You just look across. If you've ever listened to an actuarian, anybody who actually makes the data for insurance companies, you ever wonder why automobile insurance is more for young men than for young women? Because people know, because they have data that shows young men are more likely to take risks behind the wheel of a car than a young girl. Men under a certain age are more likely to do this or more likely to do that. That's why insurance rates are what they are. They don't just pull this stuff out of their butt. Actuarial statistics run a lot of business. And there is something to be said for men who are unmarried or have no history of long-term relationships. They tend to not get promoted. There tends to be a cap on these guys. How does that work? How does that work in today's modern hookup culture, or this whole push towards, I don't want to be in a relationship, I ain't getting married, I'm not going to do any of that, I'm not going to do it, I'm going to just keep my head down, get on my purpose, get on my grind, and make my money? Well, unless you plan on starting your own business, You can do that if you're alpha male strategies, or and see a lot of the dating coaches and spaces you guys listen to, you're listening to men who have already had plenty of relationship success. They're not virgins. They're not virgins by any stretch of the imagination. They've all had plenty of relationship success. The majority of them are currently in relationships. Matter of fact, all of them are. Look at any dating coach. Alpha Male Strategies, relationships. Steph, relationship. Steve the Dean, married. Alan, relationship. Rom, if he wanted to be, but he's had a relationship. Lacario, married. Donovan, living girlfriend. Coach Red Pill, married. Every guy that these guys listen to have women or have had enough experience to know, and they own their own business. What you don't see is single, unmarried men in large numbers in middle or upper management. So the question becomes, what are you going to do? Do you plan on working for 30 years? Or how long do the average person work? And the average person has a career of 40 years. What are you going to do? If you're one of the 70% of people who has to work for somebody, what is being socially awkward, unmarried, no girlfriends, what's the impact going to have on your potential? What's the impact going to have on your potential? Time to grow up. Time to grow up. Why incels? Why? Time to grow up. Who suffers from this the most? Who suffers from this pipe dream delusion the most? Well, who is affected the most? All right, let's ask this question. Let's look at the marital rates. Who's the least married group of men? What's the least married race of man in the United States? Caucasian, Asian, Hispanic, Middle Eastern, African American, Black men. Is there a case for marriage and success? Black men. Okay, least married, who also tend to be the least represented in middle executive management positions. Black men. Black men, like it or not, let's just get right to it. Let's just change it. Why black men don't move up. Let's just get right into it. Why black men don't move up. Black men, you don't move up for several reasons, and one of the biggest reasons is because you don't have a marriage. You don't have a marriage. See, when we all go into entry level at 23 years old, we're all piss and vinegar, and we're all going to work and going to the bars after work and everything else. But one thing that happens with Brad and Lee and Ahmed and Enrique, around 26 to 28 years old, these guys start getting married. They start getting married. I'm telling you one thing that really shocked me when I was in corporate America as a young guy, how many weddings white women were going to, and how many weddings white guys were going to in their late 20s. It seemed like every summer I had coworkers either getting married or going to weddings. Every summer. And I'm like, wow, this was like to the point to where the women that weren't married, they start feeling the pressure and like, oh, I'm 26, I'm not married yet. My girlfriend got married at 21 or 22, getting married. But by 28 years old, most of these people have been married 3 to 5 years. But the black folks still ripping and running, happy hour, drinking, such and so forth, blah, 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 blah. Black women were being promoted. Black men, nothing. So you know what I realized? I sat down with my counterparts and I said, I'm seeing a pattern here. And I actually talked to people outside of my company, recruiters, consultants, fraternity brothers. I talked to men who were Alpha Phi Alpha, Kappa Alpha Psi. I talked to men who were in other places, and they said, look here, brother, you pay a bachelor tax in corporate America. You're looked at as unstable, unreliable.
Love these back-to-back shows on YouTube, Kevin.
Unstable, unreliable. You looked at, I mean, guys will sit around and people in the office will laugh about your exploits, but everybody else is going home to their wife and kids and they're talking about PTA meetings and this and that. And you're just the rogue guy out here bedding a bunch of different women. That's cool. That's cool locker room talk. But when you leave, they all look at you like, something wrong with this dude. He's not one of us. He's a good guy. Black men, if you honestly think being unmarried does not hurt your chances and potential to move up in an organization, you are sadly mistaken. Black women, let me talk to you also. Why do you find so many black men who have moved up to middle or executive management married to non-black women? We got to talk about that too. Put a pin there, because it's time for some tough love. This is a corporate imaging thing. When a company moves you into middle management, they are taking your work history, your brand, and they're putting you in a leadership position. How do you think a bachelor or an unmarried man is going to lead a bunch of married men? If your staff, white, Hispanic, Asian, and other, are married at about an 80 to 90% rate, how are you going to relate to them? You will expect them to be able to do things that, hey man, married men have different sets of obligations. And married men and single men, you're going to expect them to do things that married men just, in today's society, HR sides with the relationships and married things, because honestly, these people married men are looked at as more stable investments for a company. Let's talk about it. All right. AAA 287. This is not the show. 2782. This is not the show for you. This is not the show for you. Saying middle management is a joke, working 60 hours in individual. This is the show for you. You're gonna sit there and be quiet, or I'm gonna block you. Because I've already said the parameters. If you're one of these, I gotta be an entrepreneur on my business, this ain't the show for you. But don't come in my chat room talking crap. Black women, affirmative act, this ain't the show. This ain't about black women either. See, women aren't your problem. Like I proved last night, a lot of you guys, your problem is staring you dead in the mirror. Your inability to maintain relationships. This is a reason why you are not going to be promoted and moved up, because not being in a serious relationship shows a lack of ability to maintain relationships. Why would a company put a man who can't maintain relationships versus a man who can maintain a relationship over relationships? All right, man. I'm start putting you guys in timeout. When I say get on subject, I mean get on subject. Understand something. How many men honestly believe that they can move up and be successful at the higher levels in corporate America as a lone wolf bachelor? with a rotation. Who believes that? Who believes that? The question is, as a man, who you choose to marry, who you choose to partner with. Because whether you're married or not, you have to be in a long-term relationship. A marriage is best for moving up, but a long-term committed relationship would do, but it has to be public. People have to see your significant other. They just can't talk about it. People have to see your significant other. You just cannot talk about it. People have to see your significant other. You just cannot talk about it. People must see, your coworkers must see. You must have a history of being in either long-term committed relationships or a marriage. Even a marriage with a divorce is better than no marriage. They must see it. Because at some point, companies expect men to settle down. At what point as a black man, is it time for you to grow up and settle down? At what point is it time for you to grow up and settle down? At what point do you grow up At what point do you grow up and settle down? Let's talk about it. At what point do you grow up and settle down? I'm going to need, let's see, where are we at? We're going to need at least 75 more. We're going to need to get the likes over 200. I'm going to need at least 5 people to put something on the super chat because I'm about to open it up. Let me tell you something. If you're a 40-year-old black man running around corporate America, unmarried, never been married, think you can cat around and womanize, you have capped yourself. These people don't want you around them and their wives. They darn sure don't want you around their daughters. Again, you chose to play the rule. You chose to play the game. You know you got to work for somebody. So we're going to talk about it. What does winning look like? Because there are plenty of people come along like, winning for black men is working for yourself. That's only 30% of people possibly. What does winning look like working for somebody else? What does winning look like? What does it mean to win? Like Robert F. Smith, as far as I'm concerned, he won. Black men who move up, middle management, upper management, executives, they're winning. Dudes that stay at the entry level with the dreadlocks, fighting the power, they're not winning because they're just workers. They can be hired and fired. They're just cogs. They're pawns. Pawns. Pawns can't make any power moves. In order to win, you got to be able to make some power moves. Bishops can make power moves. Knights can make power moves. Rooks can make power moves. The queen can make a power move. The king can even make a power move. Pawn can't do nothing except take orders. Most of you black men are pawns. Thinking that being 30 years old, unmarried, out here, still going to nightclubs and lounges and all this other kind of stuff. Thinking that somebody takes you seriously in the work world. Everything you do when you work for someone else is watched. You are being watched all the time. Oh, shout out to O'Shea Duke Jackson. Appreciate it, fam. Damn, he just came down with $100,000. You're a fool, man. For my tricking fun. Let's talk about tricking, man. Remember I told you guys about how to crush the Christmas party? Not to roll into that Christmas party alone, to go into your pocket and go hire a high-end escort and take her on your arm and go out there and schmooze with the executives? That's right. How do you think I know that? Because I did it. I told a story about how I hired one of the best escorts in Dallas and took her to the company Christmas party. They had all the restrooms open in the executive restroom. I was in the bathroom and the senior VP of sales and marketing was coming out. I knew him. He didn't know me. I ain't nobody to the senior VP of marketing. They didn't know me. You just
Thanks for the shout out for the video. And yes, this is me in Africa giving the link low.
That's what's up, O'Shea. He came out. I knew him because I know the organizational chart. See, it's like being O'Shea. You over here in the Black Manosphere, everybody know O'Shea, but O'Shea don't know everybody in this chat room. He know the people he need to know. Hundreds of people in your chat room, thousands of people. You would like to think, O'Shea, yeah, man, I left a comment on your video. Man, you know how many people, powerful people, men see? Y'all think that he knows you. You got executives and they got hundreds of people reporting to him. And they'll normally give you the nod or the wave, but I was in an executive washroom, a place that you normally can't get into. He was leaving. I was coming in. And this old gray-haired, pudgy white man said, "See, you brought Debbie. She's a classy one, that girl." Yeah, she is. Got good taste. Extended his hand. Told me his name. And I said, "Hi, Kevin Samuels." Huh. I'll keep my eye on you, Kevin. I was going to take a piss. He was leaving. The reason he acknowledged me wasn't because of my suit or my great fragrance, even though I was smelling good. All that meant nothing. He acknowledged me because I had brought that high-end call girl with me. And you know what I realized? What I found out after that? The next Thursday, when Mr. Thompson wanted me to come to his office, Mr. Thompson would like you to come up to his office. What? Mr. Thompson? Yeah. Oh, went up. Yeah. So how long you known Debbie? Oh, about 6 months. How'd you get to know her? Because in order to holler at a high-end escort like that, you got to go through a background check and be pre-screened. What do you think these executives love? They love loyalty and security.
Thank you for your content. Joined Patreon earlier this month and you completely changed my outlook on life.
Well, let me go ahead and help you then, Nicholas. You can't trust me anymore. Get off my channel. Because if you think I want you to go back to the plantation, dude, you ain't nowhere. Let me talk to this Nicholas Fuller dude. Tell me what you got for black men, other than some this, oh my God, boogie white man. What are you doing? I dare you to get on the show. I dare you to get on the show and tell me what you got for black men, because at least I can tell you what I've done and what I'm still doing. What I cannot tolerate is dudes like this. That's why I said you need to stop listening to fools like this, because they got nothing except opinions. I'm in this man's office and he's like, yeah, we're talking. And in order to deal with an escort at that level, they ain't like picking up a call girl off the street or going into a strip club and getting a hand job in the booth. You got to go through some background. So they basically say, well, if you can pass her test, if you're in the club, you're in the club. Guess who became a mentor of mine? Mr. Thompson. I was promoted 6 months later. But all of a sudden, I started getting invited to meetings I normally wasn't invited to. Accounts got assigned to me that normally, that opened up that normally I didn't even know were available. I had an advocate because Mr. Thompson had been seeing Debbie for 2 years and she was his regular. I learned a whole lot about power moves behind the scene. And see, that's the problem. Dudes like Nicholas, they're not willing to do what it takes to win. They'd rather sit around and talk about the plantation and talk about the rules, but they're not willing to do what it takes to win. So when they lose, they can blame somebody else. See, Nicholas, he can blame other people for why he's a loser. Other than saying, I did this, and I still lost. See, Nicholas can just say, oh man, this white supremacy, racism, the man keeping me down, blah, 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 blah. And by the way, the woman I took to the event was Black. Ooh, hurt your feelings, Nicholas? Bet it did. Sting, don't it? Sting, don't it, you son of a bitch? That's why I actually showed this picture. You see that? That's a beautiful Black woman I married. You see that? Even with her face blurred out, I guarantee it, she's finer than any woman you ever thought about possibly trying to talk to. You want to match arms with me, little boy? Let's do it. I've been there. I've got my receipts. Show your work. See, this is what I mean. Too many of you punks want the world easy. If you can't handle the truth, you can't handle this kind of conversation, you are not cut out to be anything other than a worker bee. This is how power moves. This is what success does. So here we go. School me on tell me on what Nicholas and guys like Nicholas got for you. Tell me what Nicholas got for you, other than opinions.
Good afternoon, Godfather.
Appreciate it. Because understand something. In order to move up, when you're working for someone else, you have to play by the rules. That's it. He who has the goal rules. The people who make the company, the organizational structure, that is it. Play by the rules. Your rebellion, your fight to power back to Africa, Hotep, blah, 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 makes you a worker and them rich. They love Nicholas. They love him. They love
Kevin
him.
is coming with a one quality content showing the real in 2020. Join the winners circle hashtag Mamba mentality, flexed bicep, blackness hashtag the marathon continues.
They love it when you sit down at the bottom and do all that stuff. What they don't like is when you shut up and play by the rules and beat them. And they gotta move you. They don't give you a promotion, you take it. And you sitting in that same room with them and they gotta grit their teeth and bear it because you are too valuable to the bottom line. See, your blackness stops mattering when you can make green. Hello. But see, that's what winners do. Winners make themselves indispensable. You don't think I sat across the table from some prejudiced white men? Of course, I didn't like them either. But here's the thing, they did not want me to go to a competitor and work for them. You better come on in. If there's a wall, make a door. If there's a wall, make a door. If there's a ceiling, cut through it. I don't care if they like me. Respect my gangster and my ability to do what I need to do. And you're going to take care of me and move me up, because if you don't, I'll go work for a competitor and I'll make it my #1 mission to take everything I ever brought to you. If I sold millions for you and you don't take care of me, I'll go across the street and I'll get more money working from them, and I will take everything I ever brought over here from you plus some. Because think about it, if I work for you and I bring in all this revenue and accounts and everything else, increase your bottom line, and you think I'm gonna just stay down there like Nicholas and let you keep pimping me? No. If you wanna keep me out there on the stroll, on the blade, walking, if you ain't gonna move me, I'll go over here. Companies are always trying to recruit top 10 people. They want to take me. Oh, they ain't treating you right over there? We'll pay you 50% more, because they know I'm an A player, because I'm gonna go out there and make it happen, but I'm gonna pay special attention. Every time I go up against the company that I left, I'm gonna win that deal, and I'm gonna slowly start taking my customers. Even with the non-compete agreement, I'm gonna take my customers, take my business. And then I'm gonna go after dudes over there that I didn't like. Ooh, I didn't like Brian, no way. I didn't like Nicholas, no way. And Nicholas has the Bob Moore account. Fuck Nicholas. I'm going after before I left, I looked up all of Nicholas's account information. Yep, I looked at all his best customers. Those are the first customers I'm gonna call, because I didn't like Nicholas. So when I'm over here, I'm going to take my customers and I'm going to take Nicholas's customers. And Nicholas is going to sit there and lose his job because I took his business and he can't do shit about it because I'm a better man. Nicholas can't take my customers, but I'll take his. Plantation net, fool. Brandon, I'm teaching. If you haven't been here before, pay attention. Understand something. In order to move up, you have to be willing to do. What is a good idea? Get married? Get on the show, man. I'm not going to answer the questions this way. Here's the link. There's the link. You want to understand it's risky to, okay. He asked the question, why is it okay to get married when it's risky? What's the upside? The money, connections. You cannot move up as a 30 or as a 40 or 50-year-old single man.
Why is it a good idea to get married when we know how risky it is? What part of the upside outweighs the risk?
Understand the question. He's asking about a potential divorce, a potential downside of a woman you get to pick. And if you're supposed to be so aware, I've already told, name me, show me the single bachelor, unmarried men in middle and upper management. See, these guys like to talk about, just like that 20-year-old guy yesterday. You're asking us to treat women like this when they don't deserve it, and find out the root of his issue was he was upset over what a 15-year-old girl did to him 5 years ago, and he quit. Don't create the divorce. That's the thing. Why did Robert F. Smith get remarried? Why do men with millions and billions of dollars get a divorce and get remarried? Why? Why do men who have more money than you'll ever make get married and remarried? Why are men with more money than you have or ever will make, who paid out millions, still go do it? Because marriage is about business, brand. It's more than about your feelings. It's more than about you. And most of you guys in here talking real talk, man, you guys ain't making no money. I mean, it'd be different if you came in here talking about and said, man, I'm a $300,000, I make $400,000 a year as an investment banker. The guy from Philadelphia, West Side Philly, hit the link. But I mean, a bunch of $30,000 to $60,000 a year dudes talking about the downside of divorce, man, what are you talking about? See, you guys this is why I say you're not ready to win. Grow up. Looking at potential loss, scarcity, fear-based. Why can any other group of men sit back who have real issues? And you're talking to the least married group of men talking about, wow, well, why should we do it? Because you're at the bottom. And one of the most reliable ways to move up and acquire wealth in this country is marriage. You work for Google, I work for Google, I'm making money. I don't care if you're making money. What level are you at? What level are you at? You can be a high paid worker. Good. What level are you at? Links. I'm around them every day, from the CEOs to 3 down. All of them are married. All of them are married. Successful men are married men. We're talking about success in corporate America now. When I see, if you rank success on just the amount of money you can make, single men don't, married men make more than single men. Married men get paid more than single men. The stats are there. So here's the better question. If all the facts, the data, the anecdotal evidence, the success, if all the things are pointing towards something, why are you arguing against it? Why are Black men so afraid to play the game, commit and win? You're more willing, we got Black men who are more willing to worry about what could be than what they can do. Black men, you worry more about what could be than what you can do. And I'm telling you, many of you guys in here watch Alpha Male Strategies. How many times has he said, one day I'm going to hang it up and I'm going to get married and have some kids? Mm-hmm. Like last night's show proved. Got a lot of young guys with a lot of opinions and no lived experience. That's why they're not getting on the show. Because it's easy to sit in the chat room just to talk, because they know good and doggone well if they got to get in here with somebody who knows something, I'll pick their stuff apart. And if you can't handle me asking you questions about what it is you say you believe, you are not ready to compete. You're not ready to grow up. Black men, you are not taken seriously. Your image is the worst. Collectively, but individually, you get to pick. Yes, if you want to move up to middle or upper management, you're going to need a wife. Wife is best, but at the very least, a very public, very long-term committed relationship where that woman is public and she comes to the events just like your wife. But here's the problem. People are going to say, why have y'all been together 7 years and not married? People, middle management and upper management, they don't understand that. You're looked at as untrustworthy, disloyal. We can't trust you. Because the wives are going to say, it's not right. They've been together 10 years, or 9 years. Why isn't he just married her? What's the deal? What are you waiting for? Because you got to look at this through the frame of your decision-making ability. They're saying, wait a minute, this guy, he's probably cheating or holding out for a better deal or whatever. Whatever it means is it makes them uncomfortable. And people don't promote people they're not comfortable with or they can't trust. Let me address this question. OG, don't turn into a millennial hating old head like BGS. First of all, BGS does not hate millennials.
Kevin, I know this is off topic, but I need a cologne.
BGS does not hate millennials. A lot of you millennials are too soft to hear the truth. How many young men who were millennials and Gen Z were sitting around talking about how I'm talking to these guys and would gladly classify everything I said last night as hate, but there was not one bit of hate. See, a lot of you millennials, man, I guess what are you thinking? That when the baby boomers die off and Generation X dies off, that they're going to have to promote guys like you anti-counterculture, new wave thinking. It's like, okay, once these guys die out, then we'll get the positions. No, you won't. You won't. Because you guys who think like this are still in the minority. The people who are going to be the new bosses are already being groomed. This is why I said, I did the show the other day saying you've already trained your boss or your replacement. Just like yesterday, I think a lot of you guys really honestly believe that I'll get the opportunity because the other guys won't be there. Wrong. Wrong, wrong, wrong. Because the way a lot of you young guys think, you have other millennials who are like, man, I see what you're saying, dude. I see what you're saying, bro, but I'm trying to get this money. So I'm gonna do like what these guys over here doing. We're cool and all, but my self-interest outweigh my need to be right on the argument. I mean, we can still play video games and shit, but then they're gonna keep on moving up and moving up. The next thing you know, you'll look up and you'll be at the same or entry level range, and the guys you came in with will have surpassed you. And you're gonna have to leave that company because they're gonna continue to hire in newer, younger people. Let's talk. Be respectful though. Traditional value is going to win because traditional values mean consistency, structure, and discipline. And single unmarried men don't represent any of that. I didn't make the rules. You got hundreds, thousands of people's lives depending upon what these managers and executives do. Hundreds of thousands of millions, possibly billions of dollars ranked on their decisions. They're not going to put in a bunch of people they can't trust, that aren't liked. No. Come on, man. What's going on, SM? SM.
Hey, can you hear me?
I can now. What do you got for me?
Hey, Kevin, this is more so related to what you were talking about yesterday, but I'm a 21-year-old college student, and I'm trying to find new ways to improve the caliber of women that I'm dealing with.
Okay. The quality of women you're speaking of doesn't exist in my environment. Hold on. Westside Philly, why won't you get on the show? I mean, I appreciate the super chats, but if they don't exist in your environment, then men change their environment. We don't make excuses. We make moves. I'm hearing a lot of excuses. You're trying to improve the caliber. What'd you say? You're trying to improve the caliber of women?
Yeah, like I've been on like Tinder and stuff, but it's more so like kind of more like trashy women. Like I'm trying to go to new places and improve the quality of women.
How you're 21?
Yeah.
Where do you are you in school?
Yeah, I'm in college.
Where what city?
Berkeley, California.
Berkeley. What are you going to school for?
Like data science. It's like similar to engineering.
When was the last time you had a girlfriend?
I've never been in a relationship.
Are you a virgin?
Nope.
When was the last time you had sex?
Like October.
And who was that with a prostitute?
No, just some hookup.
How many sexual experiences have you had? How many different women have you had?
Sex with like probably
Yes.
4.
4. But no relationship. Okay, not uncommon. And you're trying to increase the caliber of a woman. What do you want? You want a girlfriend? What do you want?
Yeah, I think I'd be in a I'd be down for a girlfriend. I'm not like thirsty for a relationship, but I'd be down to have a girlfriend or just more.
What do you want?
More like cool women friends, or like homegirls, or more like heterosexual partners.
Hold on. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Am I on Bluetooth, the speaker on your side?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. If you don't know what you want, how can you find it? I asked you a very simple question. What do you want? What kind of relationship do you want?
I'd be down for a relationship with someone that's not of like a trashy Tinder quality.
Why is
someone
that
of a better quality?
Why is that a caveat? I asked you simply, what do you want, man? Can you be clear? It sounds like you want a loving romantic relationship, a girlfriend. Is that what you want or not?
Actually, not really, to be honest.
Then what the fuck do you want, man? Can you be clear?
Maybe I just want to be around more
This
women.
is why you can't find a better caliber woman. Listen to you, dude. I've asked you 5 different times.
Probably like a rotation. That's probably what I want.
A rotation. You don't get that. You're not alpha. Alphas get rotations. A man who's never had a relationship doesn't get a rotation. Select
And I
men.
probably want a relationship.
Okay. Select men get relationships. I mean, rotations. Now you're saying, so I've asked you many different times. You've gone from, I don't want a girlfriend. I want a rotation. I want this. What you don't know what the fuck you want, and you can't. And I'm gonna give you one more shot, brother. Just be honest. What do you want? I'm not judging you. Just tell me what you want.
Yeah, I probably want a relationship.
Okay, then why is that so hard for you to say? Be honest.
I probably hadn't made an ultimatum until you posed the question to me like that.
Please talk to me like I'm a human being. Talk to me like I'm 4. Don't use the words, I probably haven't posed the ultimatum until you talk to me like a regular person.
Like I probably hadn't made up my mind until you asked me to make a decision.
So if you don't know what the fuck you want, how can you find it? If you can't be certain what you want, why do you think women want to be gravitated towards you? You're uncertain, wishy-washy. And yes, here's what you want. Were you raised by your father? No.
He was in the house, but he wasn't really around from like
No,
6th grade up to 12th grade.
No, the answer was no. When you're raised by dad, there's no you know. You're raised by mama. Fine. Look, ain't nobody gonna love you like your mama. You've never had a girlfriend, so you want somebody you can go on the movie with on Friday. You want a relationship somewhere where you can have steady, consistent sex to where if you want to go do something, you got somebody that you know is going to be there. You don't have to ask a question. There's a concert coming, there's a movie, something, let's go to dinner. That's what you want. You want a girlfriend.
Yeah, you're right. That's what I want.
And you don't want to admit it because you don't think you can have it. Because you've never gone out to make it happen. Tell me what happened the last time you approached a woman romantically to make her yours.
Actually, I've never done that before. I've never just asked a girl to be my girlfriend.
Well, no. You don't just ask a girl to be your girlfriend. You actually have to woo her, seduce her, and get her to agree to be your girlfriend. It doesn't just happen.
I probably haven't done that since I was in high school.
Then that's what you're going to, since high school?
Yeah.
You had a girlfriend in high school?
Yeah.
She was a public girlfriend. She acknowledged you in front of everybody and said, "This is my boyfriend."
Now, we didn't really claim each other like that.
Hold on. Then that's not a girlfriend. If it's not public, it doesn't count. So, like so many young guys, you don't know what you want, and then you expect to get it. You have to learn how to be more smooth as a communicator. You're going to need interpersonal communication and coaching because you don't have a father to teach it to you, and no videos are going to do it. The ability to have sex with somebody it means nothing. And after college, if you don't learn how to do this now, you're going to be just like the rest of these guys out here having transactional sex. You didn't learn the social skills in junior high and high school. You didn't learn them in primary school and practice them in junior high and then hone them in high school and then, take advantage of them in college. You're a late bloomer.
Yeah, you're right.
You got to pay for a learning curve. That shit ain't free. The first thing is you need to start getting real clear about what it is you want and stop using so many words and be trying to sound impressive. Just be truthful. Because the women you've had sex with, hookup sex with, they stepped to you. You didn't go to them and pull them.
Yeah, you're right.
I know. You can't approach a woman and make it happen. And that's what you're going to have to be able to do. And if you don't do this, it's going to hamper your potential in the work world because you're going to always walk through life with this beta thing on your back. Men can tell men who are not successful with women, and so can women.
You got any suggestions of how I should improve?
I've already given you suggestions of what?
Of how I can improve?
I've already told you. Did you not hear me? What did
Yeah,
I
I
say?
did.
What did I say? What did I say?
Got to get more confidence and start stepping more to women.
That's not what I said. What did I tell you you needed?
Some coaching.
Right. Why don't you want to do that?
I'm actually down for it. I'm actually down to book a consult with you.
Then I've told you what you needed. You need coaching because you didn't learn it. It's not free.
Yeah, I'll do that. I'll send you a message. Thank you, Kevin.
No. Don't send me a message. Go on my website and book. We don't need to talk.
All right. Thank you.
And let me thank you. Bye-bye. That's another thing, man. No disrespect to you young guys, but I don't need you guys to keep sending me messages and explaining your story. Okay? Go to my website, and if you want something from me, you book it. But when you send me a message saying, hey man, I'm this dude and I'm that dude, and here's my whole backstory. You don't go to no, I don't need to know all that. I don't even read those messages, honestly. I don't read until you pay me. Because I'm not going to respond and give you any advice or any feedback. That's not how you approach a business person. You would not approach, let's be honest, you wouldn't approach a white man that way. You damn sure wouldn't approach a white woman that way. Let's be honest, guys. This is what you want. Let's be honest, gentlemen. This is what you want. This is what you want. You see that man right there? That's a smooth motherfucker. See that man? That's a smooth dude. Smooth. You see that? You see that hand right there? That's a feminine hand. See those pearls? See, I blurred out her face because she's too fine. It's my second wife. If I decide I want to be married, I can go get another wife in under 12 months. I got it like that. This is what you want. And then you want her to act right. See, that's what all this internet red pill manosphere knowledge is supposed to be. To get that, but to get that on your program. So if I decided to do this again, it's going to be that on my program. See, but the difference between where you are and a lot of the guys you watch and admire versus you is we have the skills, the social skills to go do this, to go out right now, live on camera and make it happen. You've seen it, other guys' channels. If you watch me on Instagram, you've seen stuff. I had to learn how to do this. I grew up single mother, raised in a coven, father wasn't there, socially awkward, all those things, unsure of myself. But I had to learn. I had to go in my pocket and spend thousands of dollars and put in hundreds of hours of work. But what's the alternative? But let me tell you something else. You see what that man was doing? This was in Hawaii. I paid for a wedding for me, destination wedding for me and the family. The Moana surf rider. 2 weeks. I made enough money to take care of it all. I see you. I see you. Why is that important? Because as a man, I was out there competing. When I was in corporate America, I won. So guess what? I got a chance to pick. Even though I picked poorly, I'm still there. You want to win? You got to do what winners do. Let's see. Jayden. Okay, RGZ. You can be next. Jayden.
Hey, what's going on, Kev?
What do you got for me?
All right, so I'm currently 19 years old.
Hold on, I need at least 5 people in here to throw something on the super chat. Come on, Jayden.
All right, so I'm currently 19 years old. I have a girlfriend right now, and she's okay, you know.
Are you Facebook? Are you on Facebook?
I'm on Zoom.
No, no, are you on Facebook in your life? Do you have Facebook?
No, I'm on Instagram.
Okay. Does she have Facebook?
Yeah, she does.
Did she change her relationship status?
I haven't checked it.
You don't know if she changed her relationship status?
No.
Then she's not your girlfriend. If they don't claim you public, it don't count. Keep
Well,
going.
I'm on her Instagram all over it.
No, okay. I'll take Instagram. But if she don't change her Facebook status, it really don't count.
Yeah,
Let's
I'll
go.
check on it.
Let's go. Let's go. Keep it going.
Yeah, so I want to be a six-figure accountant and do all this amazing stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm 19, of course, and I don't know how serious I should take it. I don't know if I should put a lot of work into it or actually just kind of not be dating her, you know?
What does being a six-figure accountant have to do with dealing with women? How's she distracting you? What does that have to do with anything? I don't understand.
I just caught the stream, so she has a lot of.
Look, okay. Are you in college right now? All right. See, a lot of times these guys just really don't know what the hell they want. Shout out to Harvey, appreciate it, fam. Woohoo! RGZ, what's up, man? Shout out to Harvey, appreciate it, fam. I need you to mute the channels in the background, RGZ.
Please.
Shout out to Julius, man.
Okay. Can you hear me?
There you go. I wish you guys would use the link though, man. Go ahead, man. What can I do for you?
Kevin, I just wanted to come on here as a millennial, a youngin, and just to explain that all of us is not non-select. Some of us are select. We in college. We know how to give it women, and we're trying to, better ourselves and, continue on what our past generation's done for us.
Okay. Thanks. I'm not understanding what are you trying to communicate? That not everybody needs help?
I'm just trying to communicate that, I've been listening yesterday and today, and it just shocks me that a lot of people my age think it's so hard to actually live life and go to college and do what you're supposed to do. I just think it's kind of sad. And it's like a lot of people my age, I'm listening, it's like they think they're right when they don't know nothing.
Do you not see guys like this in your life?
Oh no, Kevin. I surround myself around people who are trying to better
Are you in
themselves and
college?
have a plan. Yes, sir.
All right. They exist in your area too.
Oh, I know. I'll stay away from them.
Well, the thing is, my best friend from childhood growing up was this way.
Wow.
And he's a good, solid dude. So it's not like there's something wrong with these guys. They just
Yeah,
got
I'm not saying that.
They got some wrong information.
Yeah,
what are you going to school for?
I go to school for communication.
And what's your classification? Freshman, sophomore, junior, senior?
Junior.
And what will you be doing after you graduate?
After I graduate, I just want to get a job, probably focusing on just communication, maybe HR, and then I want to eventually release a self-help book.
Okay, let me stop. HR?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you want to just earn kind of average income?
Probably for the first 10 years.
No, forever.
No, sir.
Understand something. HR is not something you go in. I have consulted with plenty of men who chose this kind of path.
Yeah.
And they look up and they're 50 years old and they're still making around $50,000 to $60,000 a year. HR is not where you go to get rich. HR is a profession dominated by women. There are really no high-ranking males in HR.
Yeah.
Were you raised by your father?
I am an operations
And
manager.
mother.
Back
Okay,
in
was your
school
father
now.
in the household?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'm not just, see, communications is a very broad thing, but HR is a very narrow thing. What is it that you want to do? Because, let's start here. How much money do you want to make a year?
Well, I'm not sure I want to get into corporate. I eventually just want to release a self-help book.
What was the question I asked you?
You asked me how much money do I want to make?
Okay, and how'd you respond?
not with the right answer.
That's not communication.
Much love gold for the heavy stream.
How much do you want to make?
I'm gonna say at least 120,000 by age 28.
You are nowhere on track to do that. So while you may be select, you may be able to get some pussy. You got some holes in your game right here.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Ah, who advised you to go down this path?
Myself,
Right. Who do you know who's gone down this path, who's making that what you're making at 28?
no one.
So why do you feel like you're going to be the first one to be able to do it?
To be honest, I haven't thought about that, and that's what I need to do.
That's the problem, black man. That's why I kind of took a step back. I understand where you're coming. You may be more sexually successful than these guys, but these guys are going to be your boss later on. So you got to be real careful about how you talk to men who ain't where you are. That's why I gave you the example of my best friend. He's a VP now.
Mm.
A lot of people shit on David when we were high school, but I didn't. I saw the man and I helped him. Black men got to start helping each other without shitting on each other.
Well, unfortunately, I don't really live around much black people.
I don't care. I don't care.
But I get exactly what you're saying, though, Kevin.
Listen, you're a black man.
Yeah.
And I'm talking to other black men.
Mm-hmm.
And the attitude of which you came in, you were making judgments about these guys, even though it was a soft judgment.
Mm-hmm.
And what I'm saying is, you're young, they're young. You may be more successful over here with women, but as far as academics and business, you got some holes. They could probably teach you some stuff over here, but you said you don't hang out with these dudes. Them is the motherfuckers you need to hang out with, not the players.
Yeah.
That's who I hung out with. I was a fucking player, but I hung out with the accountants, the engineers, and guess what? I did fucking well for myself. And I'm still doing it to this day. HR is not something you do to make money. Writing a self-help book is not a guarantee to anything. There are plenty of people who write books every day and publish them on Amazon and whatever. Do you know what it takes to publish a book to make real money?
It'll probably take a really good distribution.
I asked you, do you know what it takes to publish a book to make real money?
No, sir.
All right. So you got a lot of things that you think, but not a lot of practical information.
Yeah.
Did your father go to college?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Is he not? And what did he go to school for?
He went to school for business, and
what is he doing right now?
he's doing good for himself.
I said, what is he doing right now?
He works at Amgen.
Where?
Amgen.
Okay. And why is he not advising you?
That's my fault. I need to talk to him about that.
But he was in the household, you said.
Yeah, he still is.
Okay. But why is he not advising you?
Yeah, I don't have an answer to that.
Do you have any other brothers or sisters?
I have two sisters.
Are they in college?
One is, and then one's gonna be in college next year.
Who's advising them?
None of us are being advised.
Is your mother a college graduate?
Yes.
What does she do?
She's a therapist.
Could you be more specific?
She's a marriage.
A relationship therapist.
Yeah, along those lines, relationship, and then general.
So if you have two college educated parents who are both doing well, and you got a bunch of a bunch of kids in college, and none of you are being advised, this is not a successful family formula. You need to get under somebody's advisement. If not your father, you need to get under somebody's mentorship or tutelage, because you don't know enough about the world to be able to make these decisions. You've just proved it by answering your own questions.
Yeah.
Okay. Being romantically successful with women is great. But in order to win, you have to be able to pair that with career success. Or else you'll be just like so many black men out here, 40 years old, talking about they got game and that mouthpiece and slinging their dick. Broke.
Yeah.
Got it?
Yes, sir.
All right, brother. Appreciate you calling in though.
Thank you so much, Kevin.
Keep me up, keep me posted.
You know what? I will. Thank you so much. I'll try to come on next time.
All right, bye. All right. See, you guys may not understand why I say ask the questions I ask, but as black men, as black men, we have to be, it can't just be either or, it has to be and. You need to be romantically successful, personally successful. You need balance in life. And then it's not just enough to take what you got. You gotta, I gain more from teaching and mentoring. Both people win when you teach and mentor. See, how I became such a stellar professional is because I was always willing to help somebody, teach somebody. I was never afraid to teach somebody how to close or this or that. I was never afraid to teach somebody. I wasn't afraid if I do this, then they're gonna take my because after I teach you that, then I make you a better competitor. Then I gotta still beat you. But when you are down, people remember folks who helped them along the way. I remember every person who helped me at a critical point in my career or in my development. Those people have a, whether they know how much it matters or not, Miss McElroy, Mr. Scott, Lane, I don't want to say certainly, Jermaine, there are people that are critical points in my career, through my life. David, Jeff. All right, finding balance is hard part. That's why we are here. Yeah, finding a balance. You find a balance by, it has to be about intent. It has to be more than just about you. That's why this is about relationships. Life has to be more than just about you. It has to be more than just about you. If it's just about you, then all you need is a certain amount of money and a certain standard of living. But this is why, let me tie this back to the presentation. This is why men who are married or in long-term relationships get promoted and moved up, because they're living and doing more for just themselves. Every man who has been single and then got married or in a relationship remembers his life as a single man. I will tell you, one of the largest transitions was when I got divorced. I really didn't realize how busy I was as a married man. I had so much more time as a single guy to focus and invest and move and da-da-da-da-da. But it's all for why. You work on your purpose, your grind. You're making a bunch of money. For what? Why are you doing all this? You stack enough money. If all of a sudden you have more money than you could ever spend in a lifetime, what will be next? I always ask the $50 billion question. If you woke up tomorrow and had $50 billion, you'd still be a single man? You'd still live the way you do? Mm-mm. All right, couple more questions. Why did you get divorced? That's personal. I picked wrong, but I picked what I was capable of handling. And for all the things I could say about her, it was ultimately me. I did not pick the right woman for me, and the signs were there. But like most guys raised by their mother, I was too beta to walk. Won't do it again though. The better question is why I won't get divorced again. See, the thing is, I have horror stories too, but I don't hold any of the women in my past accountable for that. Nor do I hold the women out there accountable for what those other women do. People only treat you how you allow them to. And let me give you something else. Pre-selected men win. So men who already have success confirmed upon them by other men win with women. Men choose who the alphas are. Then women select from the alphas that men chose. And honestly, let me tell you this, the majority of you guys out there who are having problems with women, dating, getting a woman on your program, stepping to her, seducing her, romancing her, all these other things, the major problem is you have never left a woman. Notice that every time I talk to a guy and who's had a bad relationship, the women have always left them. I had one guy who said he left, but that was after that woman cheated. But no, honestly, she left him. He just found out about she actually left him when she cheated on him. Okay. Yeah, O'Shea came in and tripping. All right, guys. I got a few more minutes if we have any more questions. Yeah, Eric, because honestly, Eric, I could have easily have chosen to pick a more agreeable woman. I had options, but I was in love with this woman. Look, if I get married again, I am not going to get married because of love. It is going to be, I will be loving, but as a man, you never give 100% of yourself. No, whoa. You have to love with reserve as a man, because we are built to love women unreserved, like women are built to love their children unreserved. Women don't owe us unconditional love. They owe us conditional love. And men, we're supposed to love God or something more than ourselves, our purpose more than our woman. But see, when you guys don't have a purpose, or you don't have a plan, a path, you start loving your woman more than your purpose or your plan. That's too much pressure to put on her. She can't be your everything, your all, your reason for living. I mean, that sounds nice. She don't want that. Do they fitness mom? Why get married if it doesn't benefit us? God damn it. If you, Jay's World, I'm going to end up pulling you out of here if you ask one more question. Get on the line. Why are you guys so quick to ask a question, but you're not willing to get on the line and talk about it? What degrees do I prefer Black men to get? I don't. I prefer Black men to go into sales. That's what I prefer Black men to do. I don't prefer you go to college. Prefer you to go into a career in sales, outside sales, business to business sales. But if I had to get a degree, whatever degree I could get to get me quickly into outside business to business sales. I went to school for engineering. It was pointless because I didn't want to be an engineer. If you're not going to go to college to get a science, technology, engineering, math, accounting, medical school, law school, pharmacy, some sort of professional certification, college, in my opinion, is pointless. Unless you're going to be getting your degree to be going into go into entry-level sales. Then you have to pick pharmaceutical, medical, not car sales, nothing like that. It's business to business sales. See, this is the problem. You got to ask yourself a question. Why do so many non-Black men get married and divorced, married and divorced, married and divorced, married and divorced?
IT 5 years ago. Have been stuck in help desk roles. Now pursuing high-level Cisco and Microsoft technical certs.
That's good stuff. All right, man. Hiram, what's going on? What type of sales were I in? I was in telecommunications sales, so I sold local long distance
Hey, Kevin,
internet
how's it going?
access. Hold on just a second. I sold local long
Just a
distance.
question.
Hold on, Hiram, hold on. I was in telecommunications sales and management. Then I spent, after that industry fell apart, after the dot-com crash, I spent several years in office product procurement, selling to the legal and medical verticals. So I sold to doctors and lawyers. And then after that, I spent about 10 years in advertising, sales, and marketing. So I saw pay-per-click advertising, radio, TV, billboard, newspaper, SEO, SEM. Yeah, I'm well versed. All right, Hiram, sorry about that. Go ahead. Let me unmute you. You got a question? What is it?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Oh, perfect. Hey, what I found a lot of problems with my issue is when I achieve a big goal or whatnot, I tend to rest on my laurels a bit, and all these little embers start to build up, and then all of a sudden I look around me and I got a forest fire going on. So what
Yes.
do you do that keeps you motivated, that keeps raising the bar and the thermostat to keep on reaching higher and higher? What keeps you going throughout the years?
How old are you?
I'm 26.
26. Were you raised by your father?
Yes, sir.
Was he the head of the household, or was your mother the final decision?
He was the head of the household. The only issue is I'm the son of immigrants, and what I've noticed with a lot of Spanish fathers is they're real silent. They don't transfer a lot of their ideals and principles. They just make sure that you're fed and you're clothed, and that's it. I've had to spend a lot of years just
Okay, so
reteaching,
let me answer your question. The problem is you've achieved more than the people who before you.
Correct.
That's it. So if you had to grow up out of poverty like I did, making it to $50,000 was more than anybody ever did. So when I made 100, I thought I was rich. You need bigger problems. You need bigger goals. You're not dreaming big enough. See, where do you live? What city do you live in?
I live north of Boston in Massachusetts.
So north of Boston. Okay. Why don't you live in downtown Boston? Why don't you live in the heart of the city?
One is the work and the drive, and shoot, Boston rents is 3,000 and up.
Oh, good. Then you'd have to do something.
Yep.
Right?
Right.
Right. What did I just say? Goals aren't big enough. See, the answer should have, you live out north of Boston. How far north?
Close to the New Hampshire border.
I don't know. How many miles?
I would have to say about 50.
And do you work near where you live?
Yes.
Okay. But Boston is where everything happens.
Mm-hmm. Well, economically and finance, I'm working in the trades.
Okay. Okay. Cool. You're working in the trades. Do they do your kind of work in Boston?
Union builders and stuff like that.
Do they do your kind of work in Boston?
It's about the same pay, yes.
Okay. So you could do what you do in Boston.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Why don't you do that? Because you'd have to make more money to live in Boston.
Yep.
Right. But if you had the money, would you live in Boston and work in Boston?
I would.
Why?
Because I can afford it.
Right. Big problem with us. We don't dream big enough. Our problems aren't big enough. See, $3,000 a month in rent ain't nothing if you make $30,000 a month.
Mm-hmm. I've noticed that with myself. When there's little problems, I don't pay much attention to it. But when I'm under pressure, that's when I really start cracking the whip.
This is why you need a coach. This is what.
Yep.
How many hours a week are you working?
7 days a week.
How many hours a week are you working that you're getting paid for?
I'm getting paid for, it's probably around bi-weekly, weekly, it's about 70 to 80.
All right. So you're working 70 to 80 hours a week. Why don't you have a coach?
Where can I find your services?
Here we go. There's a virtual consult. See, there's a reason Tom Brady is a 6-time Super Bowl champion and he was the last draft pick. The best players have coaches because your father, while he may be loving father, he can't keep his foot directly in your ass the way I would or people like me. But also, he can't help you get to the next level to where you can really keep pushing and pushing and pushing, because the worst thing for people like us is to make a little bit more than we ever thought was possible, because we'll stop. And it doesn't matter that we know that we shouldn't stop. We get comfortable because we don't have a track record, a long enough muscle memory or habits of continuing to be successful. There's no plan, there's no goal, there's no like-minded men around us. We tend to be one of one out there on an island. This is why you need a coach. Got it?
Got it.
Links in the description. All right, Kevin
Thank you.
Paris. Appreciate it. See, a lot of times people think I'm just talking about coaching and booking shit just because I'm trying to make money out of people. Trust me, I would make more money if I stopped talking to you guys on YouTube about this stuff. I'd have more subscribers if I just started talking about what I would stop doing this. But there's a great potential to actually get guys to the next level. Kevin, what's up? Yeah, I know how to get that bread. I'm a salesman, but I also know that what I'm saying is true. Kevin Paris, what's going on, man?
So basically, I'm in the UK, and if we convert the money, it'll be like my family business will earn $150,000 every year. But the thing is, I want to move out so I become more independent. So how would you advise it? And the next job I will get because of my experience in American terms will be like divided by 4 by wage.
Your family business makes $150,000, but it's a family business. You want to go on your own, but if you had to go on your own with your own work experience, you would make roughly $38,000 a year.
Yeah.
Right? How's that going to change if you don't do something?
Say that again, please. I never heard you.
How is it going to change if you don't do anything different? If you stay working for the family business another 10 years, how is that reality going to change?
The reality is going to change only if I move out and give it a shot.
Right. Do you live at home with your family? Yes or no?
Yes.
How old are you?
28.
28. At what age do you think you should start taking care of yourself?
I take care of myself now.
No, you don't. You don't. You live at home with your parents. They take care of you. They pay the rent. They pay the bills. You may pay a little something on, but you're not a man. And this is not an insult, Kevin. But 28-year-old men should not be living at home. You should have stepped out on your own a long time ago, got a little ratty apartment, some used furniture, a blow-up mattress, eating Vienna sausage, sardines, drinking water, eating crackers, and making it. See, it's easy to let mom and daddy to slow roll it, but then you look up at 28, so you're effectively 30. Ain't nobody wanting to fuck around with a 30-year-old man and live with his mama. And don't want to fuck around with a 38-year-old man, live with his mom who ain't got no money. You're behind. So you got to start running at life like you're behind. You're going to take a cut. You're going to take a hit in income, but you're going to increase in your personal pride and be in the race. Get it? Or you don't have to. You could stay at home. But the business, if you live at home, living at home comes with a lot of different rules. They set the curfew and things. You can't do certain things over there. And they always got that over your head. It's not your business. It's their business, right? Yes? Yes?
Yeah.
Yeah. So they basically, you're still a kid. You're just on allowance. You're a 28-year-old on allowance. Effectively, that's what it is. Anything else?
Nothing else.
Right? What else?
No, nothing else. Nothing else.
So what are you going to do?
Eventually, I'm going to move out.
Eventually. How long is that?
I'll say in 6 months.
Okay. 6 months. I know what your name is. I expect to be kept up to date in 6 months. Don't let it go. Don't let it go past 6 months. Past 6 months, Kevin Paris, we're gonna be like, oh no, we don't hear shit Kevin got to say unless he's showing us a lease. You'll feel better about yourself, man. Better to do it on your own. Got it?
Got it.
Thanks, man. Bye. Dooley. Dooley, 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 Dooley. Yeah, man. This is where a lot of women are starting to surpass men. Women are living by themselves. They're having more sex. They're more aggressive. They're more dominant. Then you wonder why 50-year-old dudes like myself can date Generation X, millennials, zennials. Why? Because we're the last group of men that were raised traditional. You got your camera on, man. I'm gonna go ahead and stop your camera. You can turn it back on if you want to. Walter Johnson, I see you in the chat room. Dooley, I turned your camera off, but you need to turn your mic on. Walter Johnson, I see you in the chat room. Blame the Democrats for staying home longer than 18. Living in a home past 18 is not the problem. I would recommend a guy, you can stay home through college. Everyone should not leave at 18, especially young girls. But I think men need to have a plan. The longer you stay at home, look, man, I had to go home because of a serious illness. I hated it. I finished my last chemotherapy treatment on a Monday. I was gone on Wednesday. I don't, because your mom is going to always be your mama. All right. Dooley, what's up?
You hear me, sir?
I can now. Walter, I'm going to put you back in the waiting room. What you got for us?
Hey, nice to meet you, sir.
Appreciate it. What's going on, man?
Okay, let me shut off YouTube so that I'm not getting a double sound here. Do you hear me now, sir?
Yes, I do.
Okay, it's nice to speak with you. I am 44 years old. I live in Minnesota, married for about 12 years now.
Okay.
And when my wife and I first married, I was doing pretty good for myself. I was managing at a Walmart at the time. I was a store manager.
Okay.
About 2014, 15, I had some hard problems come up and forced me to change careers.
Okay.
So I kind of wanted to get into something that was less physically demanding. Walmart, 200,000 square foot, and
Right.
you're walking around that 15 hours a day.
All right. So please get to the question I can help you with.
Okay, so I changed careers. I got into IT, A plus, Network plus, CompTIA, but I've been stuck in help desk. But there was contract, help desk after help desk contracts. Now I've decided that okay, I can't do any because when I first started,
What
I
can
was
I help
doing
you with? Your help desk contract. What do you want?
well. I want to get to how to sell myself to get into a permanent higher position because I
Okay.
have
Stop. Say stop right here. Talking too much. Make it simple. Are you working with a headhunter or a recruiter?
I hate recruiters, I guess.
Okay, you're working with recruiters. You've actually gone in and physically had meetings with them?
Well, they contact me.
Okay.
Post,
Okay. Who wrote your resume?
one of the recruiters did.
Okay. Who took your headshots?
I took my own headshots.
Who wrote your LinkedIn profile?
I did.
These are all problems. You're a 44-year-old guy who just got into your industry not too long ago.
Yeah.
You're competing with younger talent, and you're pretty much out here doing it on the cheap. The average resume gets looked at for 20 seconds. Your resume should be top notch. You need to, if you're trying to get into a serious position, you need to be dealing with serious people who have serious connections, not Career Builder, Monster.com, or any of the other little places. You need to take your job search seriously.
Yes.
That means you're going to have to get in your wallet because you need more than 20 seconds. You're 44 and you didn't start off doing this.
No.
So the question is, Are you taking the job search seriously, or are you just hoping someone that you luck up into the job?
I would like to think that I was taking it seriously, but
Okay,
I guess I did
okay, but
not.
do you think that the average person gets a job by doing? Okay, and that's cool. That's cool. That can be. We only know what we know, but I would tell you it's competitive, and you're trying to do. I did my own headshot. I wrote my own LinkedIn. The recruiter who has no dog in the fight wrote your resume. Why didn't you pay to have a resume professionally written? You want a professional position, approach it like a professional. That's why the first thing I said is, who is your headhunter or recruiter who you've met with, you sat down and they got a plan? Sounds to me like you're just out here. You got some people who are kind of working on your behalf as recruiters, but you don't know why what all they're trying to do is get the position filled. Whether if you get
Yeah,
it or 10 other people get it, they still get paid. Who's advocating on your behalf?
right.
There you go.
I'm out here trying to, like, right now. I've
All right, you're out here trying to. I gave you the answer. You're trying to do it on the cheap.
But I have another question about. I
Okay,
don't
please.
know.
Okay, hurry up and get to it because I got other people. When you take a long
Okay,
time to get to the questions.
so I decided that I was pursuing the. When I started in this, I pursued the certification route, right? So now I've enrolled into one of the local colleges here, and I'm pursuing a bachelor's degree as well as high level Cisco
Question.
Microsoft certifications.
Question. Go
Do
ahead with the
you think
question.
that is the right way to go to, because my experience has been they want to
Oh
know
man,
what you
come
know.
on, man. Answer the question.
I just wanted to know what you think would be a good way to go about the training. Do you think a degree is better or the certifications?
What do the recruiters and headhunters tell you people who are getting your kind of jobs or want your jobs are doing?
They say certifications
Then if that's what the recruiters tell you that people are getting the kind of jobs you want or doing, why are you questioning that?
because I keep ending up in contracts and
If
not.
there are people who know are telling you what the people who are getting are doing, you're questioning what the people who know because you're not getting the result. And I just told you, you're not approaching it professionally. It's not about the information, it's about your approach.
So I'll go out.
How many times have I had to tell you, make it simple? You overcomplicate things.
That's just a Virgo in me. I can't
The
say.
Virgo in you is going to be broken a contract worker. Shut up. Take it professionally. Dig in your pocket. Compete. Nobody has to care about you being a Virgo or your Walmart story. Any other people, like I said earlier, people don't owe you understanding out here in corporate America. Can you do the job? Nobody wants a long-winded ass 44-year-old Virgo talking up a storm and shit. They want somebody who can do the job and grow inside the company and not be a disturbance. Somebody who's going to be 44 needs to be approaching a job differently than the guy who's 21. You should have more professionalism, especially if you've been a manager at Walmart and all those other kind of things. You're approaching it like just a high schooler, man.
And I spent 20 years as a radio DJ.
Well, what
I've
the fuck?
been there.
No, it ain't showing.
I-
It's not showing where the rubber meets the road. It's not even showing on this call. You don't sound like a 20-year professional. This is not an insult. This is what the world is telling you. This is why you're getting the results you're getting. I've given you my best advice.
Okay.
So your choice to act on it. Get it together, man.
All right.
All right.
Appreciate you.
Bye. See, this is what I think a lot of guys, we think the world owes us something. We think the world owes us something. Like our stories matter. They don't matter. They matter to us. Walter, sorry about that, man. Go ahead and get back on. He can't use his connections on LinkedIn or whatever because he built his own LinkedIn. His LinkedIn isn't working. His LinkedIn isn't working. And the connections he likely has from DJing and working in Walmart are not going to be corporate or IT contacts. He's at the bottom. He's starting out entry level, like a 23-year-old would be. The problem is he's 44 years old and he thinks his 20 years experience means something. It don't mean shit. You're at the bottom. I care about you being married and everything else. Here's the reality. As an older man, as an older man trying to break into the professional world, most people don't want to deal with you. Let me put it in these terms. Do you want to date a woman who's been married, divorced, and got kids? If you were a man out here on the dating market and you could pick between a woman who's been rode hard, put to bed wet, a bunch of kids, a bunch of other stuff, or a young 25-year-old who comes from a good church family, which one you gonna pick? The older you are, the more mileage you got on you. Why does a company want to hire a 44-year-old person who has less energy, higher insurance costs, versus a young Thundercat who's going to put in 60, 80 hours and yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir, versus a 44-year-old dude like, well, I've been in management, I've been in this, motherfucker, you ain't done it here. You look like a whole lot of problems. This is why companies don't like to hire older adults. You need to come in and shut the fuck up. Yes, sir. No, sir. Give me the job and let me prove myself. So, you know, when I left corporate America to start this business, how'd I tell the story? I left $150,000 salary to be a visual merchandiser for Joseph A. Bank, to be a fragrance advisor at Sephora, to wear a funky green shirt, work at Nordstrom Rack, and to clean toilets and stack boxes at Walmart overnight. Cleaning toilets, stock shelves at Walmart with 20 years of corporate experience because I needed that money. See, a lot of times people want to get paid for what they perceive what you perceive you're worth. Take something to a pawn shop and you'll see what your shit is really worth. You may think your stuff is worth a whole lot. Take it to a pawn shop. Shit gets real quick. You got to look at what your skills are worth on the open market and act accordingly. Real girl over there dying right now. That's true, man, because, you know, resumes are this thick. Do you think if I'm hiring somebody wrong, hey, man, and you got a recruiter saying, hey, Ron, it's Kevin, man, I know you're busy, but look, man, I got a candidate for you. This guy is the best of the best. If Rome is going to take what he thinks about me and decide to give my candidate a shot, yes or no? And if I continue to say, hey, Rome, I know he came in, he said he did a good job. I just wanted to check up to see where he is in the process. If you got somebody advocating for you with the hiring manager, you're much more likely to get men versus just one in a stack of resumes. And it's just like just rolling the dice. See, it's amazing. We'll leave so much to chance for something as critical as a starting position, and then blame the situation if we don't get it. This is why consultants are so valuable. This is why the school you go to and the associations and all this stuff matters. This is why relationships matter. Everything you want in this life is controlled by somebody else. You have to make deals. Everything you want already belongs to the other person. All right, so hopefully you guys got something out of this program. It's time to grow up. It's time to start taking life seriously. It started at 23 years old. You should have graduated from college around 22, 23. At 23, you should have been working. At 25, you should have chosen a career. At 28, you should have been married. 35, you should have been divorced. 37, you should have been remarried. I mean, it's just the reality. but you would have been promoted at least one time before your divorce is over. And keep it going. You need to know your career path. There's a lot of shit that goes on in being a grown up. But if you don't want to get on that path and understand where you are, whether you're ahead or behind, and act accordingly, ain't nobody gonna stop you. They'll let you work at Walmart for 20 years. Ain't nobody gonna stop you. It's not for play out here, man. It's not for play. It's not for play. Upside is you do it the way successful men do it, then you're living in the suburbs with nice neighbors and good school systems, where people drink pumpkin spice latte, whatever your neighborhood is. Whether you want to live out in the suburbs, whether you want to live in brownstones, wherever you want to live, you have options. That's what it comes down to. I want men to be able to be in a position for them to decide what they want to do. Whether you want to live in the black part of town, white part of town, whatever you want to do, it's your choice. You're not forced to do anything else. Got it? Let me look through some of these super chats. If you have any additional questions, I will take final questions or thoughts right now. Final questions or thoughts right now. Final questions or thoughts right now. And again, I'm not saying something I think, gentlemen. I'm not saying something I think. Remember, I've done this game. I've done it. There it is. That's it. Let's see. Jay Green. There we go. Jay, what you got for me, brother? What you got for me, my friend? Whoa. Jay, what's going on? Shout out, Jaden. Just got that through. If you want to book an interpersonal communication class, learn how to become a more effective communicator or presenter, follow the link in the description. If you want to, my suggestion is most guys look at the virtual consultation. You'll be able, I cover lots of things in there. One, the basics of a fundamental masculine wardrobe, your style, personality, and also help you with some areas, of possible improvement in your personal and professional life. Jay, what's going on? If you just want personal one-on-one advice, it comes in either 15 minutes, 30 minutes, or an hour. That has nothing to do with style, nothing to do with business. It's usually something to do with the situation you're dealing with or relationship. If you're looking for straight up career planning and advice, that's the last link I put in. At the end of the day, I got a little something for everybody. And here's the thing. I think you'll realize that an hour with a professional fully focused on your situation help you leaps and bounds. I did it. This is how I got ahead. I hired coaches. I hired coaches and consultants. Shout out Dame Dash. That's what he said. Hire coaches and consultants, people who know. Jay Green, I don't see what's going on. Don't see what's going on, Jay. See, and what happens is when you're out here competing, your will to prepare determines your ability to succeed. If you're not willing to put the work in practice and preparation, you will not reap the results. That's just how it comes down. You got to put the work in practice. I became an effective, a high-level salesperson because I went through coaching, hired my own additional coaches, and then I worked. I drilled. I didn't listen to music on my way to work. I listened to my presentation on tape, and I recited it again and again and again, to the point where it became muscle memory. I drilled and drilled and drilled and drilled at becoming a more effective salesperson, overcoming objections, closing, just like I did on throwing a back fist or a reverse punch or a roundhouse kick or an outside spinning crescent kick or an eagle claw or a trap and grab. you drill over and over and over. It's kung fu. You keep moving and moving and punching and punching and punching until you're so tired you can't. You punch and punch and punch until you're exhausted. Then it just becomes effortless muscle memory to where you just do it without even thinking. Ever watch Marco Polo, 100 Eyes? Kung Fu is expert skill. To this day, when I was a cap, I was one of the best twirling canes I could twirl, 3 canes at a time. To this day, nothing around me, if it drops, will hit the floor. It's secondary motion. My friends are amazed that I can catch anything. They'll throw stuff at me from time to time just to see if I can catch it. Second nature. Muscle memory. Success becomes muscle memory. You got to drill and drill and drill because your competitors are drilling and drilling and drilling. Okay, Jay, you got your hand up. Okay, you got your hand up, but I can't hear you. Your mic is not on. Retail sales is a dead end. Retail sales is not true sales. Here's why. Sales, true sales, you have to go out and cold call, get your own leads. Retail sales, someone has already decided to come to your business. They've already shown an interest in your product or service or what you're selling. True sales, you have to go get someone interested that says they're not interested or they don't even know what you're doing. It's walking up to a woman and saying, "Excuse me, miss, what's your name?" All right, Jay. All right, well, hopefully this was helpful. Hopefully this was beneficial. I think this is going to round out. There's Jay. Round out my corporate stuff. Guys, do me a favor. If this is helpful or beneficial, high five in the chat room. High five in the chat room if this is helpful or beneficial. Unmute all. All right, Jay, I don't hear you. You're not there, so I'm gonna have to let you go. Sales engineer. Make sure I got all the questions answered. Oh, the guy that said, John Wayne, off topic. I need a cologne for warm weather. Man, you can't go wrong with Creed, Virgin Island water, hell, Pineapple Vintage Intense, which is a nice derivative of Creed or Ventus. You can't go wrong with either one of those two. And to the guy that says the quality of women I'm speaking of doesn't exist in your environment, let's talk about this too. I need to address this. Sometimes you're going to have to move, gentlemen. I had to move from Oklahoma City to Houston, from Houston to Austin, from Austin to Dallas, from Dallas to New York City, in New York City to between New York City and San Francisco, from New York City to Dallas. If you want to be successful, you cannot determine how that success happens. You're single and no kids and not willing to move, you are not serious. What happened with men of other generations? If there are no jobs in your area, you had to go somewhere else. See, the problem is today, too many guys can get dead-end jobs and just be content and live in a nowhere town doing nowhere stuff. If the caliber of women you want don't exist in your environment, move. Take a lateral move with the company you're working with and transfer. Do not think you're going to find a job in another city away from that city. You're working in Philadelphia, you better transfer to Atlanta or somewhere else. Take a lateral move. You better go Uber while you're there. Come on, man. Because here's the thing. You sitting in Philly complaining about there's not that kind of women. They ain't hurting nobody but you. You got to be willing to make moves. If you're not willing to make moves, ain't nobody gonna stop you. The beat will go on, life will go on, and the guys who are winning will winning. Appreciate it. Appreciate you guys. All right, then till the next time, talk at you later. Deuces.
How did you co-parent when you were moving around, Kevin? Thanks for all you do.
Oh, how did I co-parent while I was moving around? Well, I flew every 2 weeks. I was on a plane. I found out I was going to have a daughter. I was living in New York City. So I moved from New York City back to Dallas. And every 2 weeks, I was either on a plane to Oklahoma City or in a car for 9 years. That's what you did. You do that. Because here's the reality. Here's an uncomfortable reality for men. If you are not the custodial parent, it sucks. The chances to really impact your child's life 4 days a month, you're going to have to choose to you're going to have to make some hard choices. Some hard choices. See, a lot of men got robbed from chances of being the fathers they wanted.
Truth, sir. We'll make changes.
No problem. A lot of men got robbed of the chance to of being the fathers that they wanted. And you can do the best job co-parenting, but you become better for your children when you're still the best for yourself. See, so many guys are co-parenting and they quit moving, quit doing what they need to do, quit being aggressive. And then you look up and you sacrificed your career, your ambition, and you still don't have the relationship or what you want with your kids. You need to find more men like yourself who are professionals, who are co-parenting. And this is where men need supporting each other. Because this is tough, man. This is tough. Do a live on going through this? I don't know, man. I don't know about that one. I don't know about that one. But see, one thing that black men feel guilty about being co-parents. White men, Asian men, Hispanic men, Middle Eastern men, they don't feel bad about sending a check and keep on going to compete because they know they got to be senators and congressmen and presidents and CEOs, and they know they got to run the world. Black men have been guilted into saying, well, if you can't be, you didn't have a daddy, and you know it was like not having your daddy, so you're stuck like, well, I got to be a co-parent and this and that, and then you really just this beta male version. Man, please, no, you got to keep yourself first because you got to think about yourself. There'll be a time when your child is no longer going to need you. Be there in the developmental years, 0 to 7. Be there for in those so they know you. There's going to be a time, depending upon what your ex is, you get remarried and she's not. There's going to be hell. Parental alienation and all that thing, all that stuff plays out. But there's going to be a time where your children are going to have to make a relationship with you external to the relationship they have with their mother. And you serve them no good. You serve them no good by not continuing to climb up the corporate ladder and do what you got to do. Failing will not make your ex-wife like you more. It will not make your children better off. Go ahead, Jay. It's hard, man. It is hard. But don't you pass up opportunities and promotions? Just like, well, I'm gonna pass up a promotion to make 50% more because I got to be able to go to because I got to be around in case there's a PTA meeting. Shit, you better fly. There was a point in time when I actually contemplated seriously moving to Hawaii. And the thing is, I was like, well, instead of going every other weekend, I just have to have it for the summer. And you got to do what you got to do. And honestly, you co-parenting, you're likely going, if you are co-parenting, that's not the way you wanted to parent. That's why a lot of men go out and get married and have to start another family and do it the right way. Pick the right woman to where you won't be in this situation. Like it or not, even if you decide to stay single and never have another woman around your children, you will never be able to have the kind of relationship with your children you would be if you were there every day. And that is not your fault. Jay, if you don't get on the mic in 10 seconds, I'm shutting this down. 10. Speak on that decent daddy shit. God damn it, man, I'm tired. It's been 2 hours. Tom Ford, TF, movie kind of like, but I don't know what that means. Thanks. I don't know what that means. I'm sorry. Hey, man. See, other generations of men would have a family over here and a family over there. And I don't like men I don't like the fact that so many men like me and you were blue pilled and didn't know. And we made the best choice we could make and we had children. When you tried to do the right thing, married a mother didn't work. You don't have to live the life you'd expect. You can go out and remarry the woman who's going to be on your program, you're not going to divorce from. That's the beautiful thing about being a man. Life ain't over for us. You can redo it in 40 or 50. I know I have several friends who are in their late 40s, mid 50s, getting married and having children. And they're like, man, this is going to be the best 20 or 30 years before I get up out of here. Please. All right, man. Jay, you're not here. I got to go. I co-parent, but she makes it hard because my field promotes me so quickly. Damon, what are you going to do? Be unsuccessful? You think she's going to like you more when you fail? She makes it hard because because more often than not, she still wants to be in a relationship with you and she's using your kid as a weapon. Do not ever allow your child to be used as a weapon against you. Sometimes, I'm going to say this, and this is going to be hard to hear. You're going to have to walk away from your wife, from your ex, and your kid. They got to know you'll leave. But if you keep playing this back and forth stuff, she'll continue to string you along. You got to leave. Come on, Jay. Jay, come on.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes, come on, man.
What's going on, Kev? Hey, listen. I just had a quick question for you. How does an individual, much like myself,
You broke up.
pivot from being a
Say it. I can't hear you. How you say it? Hold on. I can't hear you.
to the corporate world?
Dude. Okay, what are you doing in the background? Turn off all the noise in the background and please just ask the question. Jay. Man, you sound like you're on a swing somewhere. All right, show over. I'm tired. Book a consultation if you want your question answered. Here you go. Here's the advice line. You had a chance to ask it for free. Now you can go out and